Alright guys, welcome back to the channel for episode 47 of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. If you missed out on the last one, there were some huge decisions to make. And in that last one, we traded away Sam Kennedy to the Tampa Bay Lightning in exchange for the 4th overall pick, which we ended up drafting Dane Matheson with. He's a power forward. He's got 4.5-star shooting. He is 78 overall. And these are what our lines are going to be looking like going into year number 11 now. And the reason there are some slight changes since the last one is because I went ahead and I made some changes for the preseason. Unfortunately, the team did not play well at all in the preseason. The lines were brought to you by Alex, and we'll just go over them, his comment real quick. So number one, the fans are excited to see how Patrick will perform on that first line, as well as how Svensson will do as the undisputed best right winger in the in our team right now, and it's a good first crack at it for both players. Number two, Matheson is barely good enough offensively and defensively to play in the NHL. Thought he'd benefit from a year in the AHL, then coming up as like an 83 or so next season to compete for the Calder immediately after the draft. However, the lineup looks good as showed, so we'll try him out up top and maybe move stuff around, and if he doesn't fit, we can always send him back down to the AHL. No harm, no foul, in my opinion. Then Alex is going to get into some trades, and these ones are going to be, they're not all-star players by any means, but they're definitely pieces that really helped us out for the last couple of years here, especially last year. So the first trade is going to be Rocky Bomick to a team that needs a top 6 winger in exchange for an elite prospect or an unprotected first round pick or something like that. So this is the rationale that Alex gives. With Matheson cracking the NHL roster, there's no top 9 role left for Rocky, and at 84 overall, he's way too good to play like 7 minutes a night on our 4th line. He has 5-star hands, 91 offensive awareness, 91 defensive awareness, and is only 24 years old. Let me just show you his stats real quick, because he is an amazing player. Oh my goodness, I went to the wrong screen. He's a great player. We just can't afford to we don't have a spot for him in our top 9. Maybe he could play 3rd line time, but we'll see who we're replacing him with essentially, and I think we'll all agree that Rocky doesn't really have a spot on this team, but he's a great player. Look at those puck skills. He has 5-star puck skills. He has 5-star defense. He has 5-star physical. He's a big boy. He hits people. He has great offense and even pretty good discipline for a grinder. But at that medium elite tag, he's just growing too much. Grinders are best placed in your bottom 6. So Rocky being a medium elite player means he grows a little too much. He's going to be wanting more ice time than we can give him. So trading him away may be the right thing to do. And basically bringing up, and then Alex says in exchange, essentially we want to bring up Brookbank, who I did bring up into the roster. Let me just pick him up real quick here. So Dane Brookbank is a guy who is extremely similar to Rocky Bomick in the career trajectory anyway. He was a 7th round pick. He was a grinder. He has low elite potential. But basically, if you remember, we started Rocky Bomick in the NHL when he was like a 75 or so overall, and he played quite well. So Brookbank's a guy, he has 5-star puck skills already. This guy can move the puck around. He still has 5-star physical as well, and his defense isn't horrible. 80 defense awareness is low, so is 80 offense awareness, but 90 shot blocking and 90 stick checking. He could be a penalty killer if we have to. Really the only thing dragging him down is his skating and his accuracy. Other than that, I mean, this guy could easily be an 80 overall with those puck skills and physical categories. We just got to bring up the defense and an offense awareness, and then I'm really liking what this guy can bring to the team. But the biggest thing is that Rocky Bomick is a guy who, at his age, 24 years old, only on a 1-year deal, he is somebody who would desperately want to make an impact in a top 6 role. And we don't have a spot for that in the team. Our top 6 is solidified. We have great things. We have Dane Matheson coming up into the top 6 as well if things falter. So we have a great top 6. I do not think that Rocky has a future here in Winnipeg. And so for that reason, I think we're going to have to send him away. And then the next trade that Alex proposes is actually Wade Stanton to a team that needs a top 9 forward, basically for a 3rd round pick or, just for some picks and things like that. So Wade Stanton, it's going to be a tough one to watch him walk because he had 51 points on the 3rd line last year. This guy's stats are pretty incredible. He has 5-star puck skills, 4.5-star senses, 3.5-star defense, everything. Pretty well-rounded player, but it's really that passing category and that offense awareness that work in tandem to get him great points. But Alex basically says we got to give some opportunities to some younger players. So looking on the main roster, who is filling in the role for Wade Stanton? Well, that's going to be, where is he? Nico Tukio here, a playmaker in his own right. Only 4-star puck skills, but he's quite similar to Stanton in most other respects. He's a better defender. He's got similar offense awareness, only one less offense awareness, and his passing is still 89, which is very serviceable. Skating not great, physical is fine, shooting is fine, but Tukio much younger. He's got that low elite tag, so hopefully he can grow a little bit. And Alex has been watching this guy in the minors. He says, let's take a chance on Tukio, and he even says Tukio is 100% an NHL player and should not play a second in the AHL. In fact, he should get the nod over Matheson for the last power play spot to start the season, since his offense is much further along. Very interesting point there from Alex. And then just a little side note by Alex is, can we check out Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and Ottawa's lineups? And we sure can. But before we do that, I'm going to go get into making some trades. Okay, boys, this is going to be the first trade here. It's going to be Wade Stanton for 2 third-round picks next year to the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, this is a trade that just showed up when I went into Find Trade, so I decided to come here and look at what Philadelphia has on their team and what they need. And they do, in fact, need some forwards. If we sort by overall here, they have Gunther, Misa, and Kalina, and that's a good first line. A second line of Frost, Lowe, and Tarky. That's a good second line. But then on the third line, they have this guy Simpson, Ford, and then Savoie, right? But nothing too crazy here. Simpson's an 83 overall. What is he? He's a two-way forward. Okay, that's fine. And then Tim Ford's a sniper, so maybe they want to throw Wade Stanton in on that third line where they have Simpson, Ford, Wade Stanton, something like that. Maybe Simpson, Savoie, Wade Stanton or something. But I think Stanton would be great here. They're in need of a top 9 type forward and a guy, on the third line who can get you 40, 50 points. I think Philadelphia would really be happy with that. They're going to send us 2 third-round picks. This is the trade that they offered when I went to Find Trade. You guys are going to have to take my word for it. Actually, I'll just go and show you right now so that you guys know I'm not just fleecing them out of nowhere. Wade Stanton, 82 overall, 28 years old, 4.5 mil for the next couple of years. There's quite a few trades for him, but Philadelphia is giving us the best offer, and they're also a team that could use Wade Stanton. So Wade Stanton for 2 third-round picks. I think this is a very fair deal. Philadelphia needs somebody like him. We can use the capital if we're not going to hold on to him for the team. So there you go, Wade. We wish you nothing but the best. You were an absolute delight to have on the team. You gave us 50 points in your 1 year here, and that was much appreciated. You really helped out some growth of some younger players. So we appreciate you, Wade, my friend. And there we are. Got to go make some changes to the AHL, but Wade is off to Philadelphia. Okay, boys, this is a bit of an interesting trade here. So Calgary is a team that they desperately need some forwards out here, and I think Rocky Bomick would have an amazing home over here in Calgary. It's a little scary considering the fact that they are a Western Conference team, but they don't look that great to start things off. So looking at their forwards, they have Kotkaniemi, Shane Wright, and then really nothing else. So Rocky Bomick could have a chance to play first-line time. That being said, I do have to sign him to an 8-year deal, so because this is going to be seen as a sign-and trade. So hang on one sec. Oh, that's right, boys. I actually can't sign Rocky Bomick to a deal because I gave him a 1-year deal. So I can't sign him to a deal until January. So we're just gonna have to send him out to Calgary or wherever we decide to trade him, and hope that they can re-sign him. He is still an RFA, so they should still have his rights, and they should be able to negotiate a contract. But I think Calgary makes sense. They are a rebuilding team, which is why I'm not gonna take their pick this year. I'm gonna take it for next year, and then I'm gonna give them Rocky Bomick and a 3rd-round pick that we picked up in the trade with Wade Stanton there. I'll give them Washington's, sure. And then I'll also give them Rocky Bomick, obviously the big piece of this deal here. Where is he? There he is. And Bomick's really a unicorn in the league, a guy in his mid-80s who's a grinder. Usually grinders end being capped up at like 82 overall max. So Bomick, if he can learn how to skate and shoot, basically, he'd be pretty good. But those puck skills are amazing. Calgary, do they have a sniper, a high-tier sniper, or really any tier sniper, to be honest, considering they don't have a high-tier basically anything on this roster. But they have Kotkaniemi, obviously, I think he's a 2-way forward, or no, he's a playmaker, okay. Then they have Shane Wright, who's a 2-way forward. Parsonen's a 2-way forward. They have a lot of 2-way forwards on this team, huh? Yeah, pretty much everybody's a 2-way forward. Brad Lambert found his way to Calgary, interesting. But I think Rocky Bomick will fit in well on this roster. I do want to check and see if there's a better fit for him, perhaps. But Calgary is my first choice right now. Okay, guys, I'm liking New Jersey here a little bit more. The reason is they do have some guys who can actually put the puck in the back of the net, so I think New Jersey's a little bit better. They have Holtz, then they have DeBrinkets, that's right winger. Sorry, hang on, we'll go to forwards. Yeah, they have Jack Hughes, they have Alexander Holtz, Nico Hischier, and DeBrinket. So I think these four can really help insulate Rocky Bomek. And if you have DeBrinket and Bomek on the same line, that's a great playmaker. Bomek kind of plays like a playmaker, and then DeBrinket obviously a sniper. He can put the puck in the back of the net. How has he been simulating recently? 20 goal seasons with Vancouver and Detroit. Okay, not the end of the world. He hasn't been lighting the world on fire or anything like that, but I do think Bomek might excel here a little bit more. Jack Hughes obviously later in his career, but if they throw him on a line with Jack Hughes, you could really see Bomek's potential skyrocket. Even his overall can get up there. Then they have Alexander Rastin. Maybe he could play in the center of Bomek and DeBrinket. Maybe he could play in the center of, I don't know, Bomek and Holtz, Hischier, but they've got some decent depth. And even if they don't play him on the second line, still, he's definitely getting third line time with all these other high 70 players. So I do think that Bomek fits in well here. He can play third line time. He can play second line time. He's definitely going to be getting power play time with all those other low overalls. So what do you say to this, New Jersey? I think this is pretty fair. I don't think we're going to be able to get Bomek straight up for a first, so because the value's just not in our favor whatsoever. So what do you say to this? Rejected. You're too far off. Okay. All right, so how about this now? I'm going to give you a third round pick next year, and you'll give me a first next year, so I'm moving up there. And then I'll give you a third this year, and you'll give me your sixth for this year. So moving down this year, but moving up next year in exchange for Rocky Bomek. What do you say now, New Jersey? Hopefully they won't be a great team. I could definitely see them falling off a little bit, but I am taking their pick next year because I don't want it to be cheese or anything like that. We also have Pittsburgh's first round pick this year, so we'll keep that in mind, obviously. But what do you say to this? Rejected isn't sufficient at all. What about without the sixth? The just 2/3 rejected. Wow, sweeten it just a touch. Okay, fine. I'll give you a seventh as well. You greedy jerks. You are so greedy. Okay, I'll give you a seventh for next year as well. So we'll give you a third this year, a third next year, and a seventh for a first. Seems like quite a bit, but well, and Rocky Bomek, of course. We're not just trading them 2/3 and a seventh. And Rocky Bomek. Hopefully New Jersey will be a bad team next year. Something that I will keep an eye on. We're sending Bomek out to the east as well, which is why I didn't want to send him to Calgary so much. But out to the east. Hopefully, we wish him nothing but the best. We obviously drafted him quite late, I believe, in the third. Okay, maybe not so late. Third round grinder, 5-star puck skills, 5-star defense. We love Rocky. I drafted him, well, I drafted him because of his overall, but also his name was amazing. From Philadelphia, we can only assume because he's from the USA. So born and bred close to New Jersey, fairly, although I'm not sure how fun he or how excited he will be to go to New Jersey and not Philadelphia. But hey, Rocky Bomek, you're going back across the border to the USA. We wish you all the best in the rest of your career, my friend. Have a good one. Thank you for everything you've done for us. And now I have to go do some lines again. Before we start the simulation, I'm going to go through some of the teams that we've made some big trades with just to see how they are progressing. So obviously, Melvin Barker out here in Buffalo. What did he do for them last year? He had 39 goals. Oh, yeah, 62 points. It was pretty crazy. So let's hope he can keep that pace up. He's playing with Asher Recchi, who's a medium elite two-way forward, only 20 years old. So these two might be a good dynamic duo. And then TJ Ginla, quite a young line here. Nice to see. Peyton Krebs, Zach Benson, and Dylan Cousins. Those guys will tear the house down. Third line's looking good. Fourth line's looking good as well. Buffalo's looking pretty deep here. And they still have Brody DeMarchi, 86 overall. Gale Krabs now up to an 82 overall. Okay, their defense is actually looking somewhat decent. Liam Carlson, obviously 90 overall with X factors up the wazoo. 90 overall is crazy. His 5-star, pretty much everything. He has turned out to be a gem for these guys. And then in goal here, we've got Matteo Hecht, obviously former Winnipeg prospect as well. The Buffalo Jets are looking good as ever. Right here are your defending Stanley Cup champions, and boy, can you see why. Look at all the X factors these guys have. Tanner Howe, Tim Stützle, and then Michael Reeves. Michael Reeves was drafted 7th overall just a couple of years ago. He's 23 years old. He's what is he? He's a power forward playing with Timmy. And Tanner Howe, who went 4th overall in 2024, so in year number 1. 5-star shooter with a 97 overall playmaker, and then a power forward just to get in the corners, do the dirty work. That's an incredible first line. Second line now, really Greg has grown quite nicely in this universe, 85 overall with X factors. Pavel Dorofeyev, which is a interesting pull on the second line, although he's been great for them. 3 straight 60-point seasons. Never mind. Sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you like that. And then Matthew Pagadwan. Okay, he's just starting his career really in Ottawa. Power forward. He could get some goals in for sure. 4-star shooting is pretty good. Third line, though, looks amazing. Look at this depth. Brady Tkachuk, Henrik Hedstrom, who's a high top 6 player, power forward. Oh my gosh, 2 power forwards. Please be all 3 power forwards. No, they're not. And then a playmaker, Thomas de Rousseau. Oh, I remember that name. I've seen that name before. But yeah, this is a line that gets rough and tough. They are big boys, 6'4", 6'3", and 6 feet. They are a big third line. And then Andrew Basha, Jacob Pelletier is an amazing fourth liner, and Will Cooley. On defense, they've got Jake Sanderson and Justin Barron, so they barely have any defense here. Daryl Sezikis, Drew Hellison, and then Nikita Okachuk and Thomas Chabot is still out here at the age of 37. But really, their defense is not that impressive. In goal, yeah, it's not great either here on goal. Oh, yeah, of course, Jet Greaves, former Winnipeg Jets, won a Stanley Cup last year. Was he their starter throughout the playoffs in 2033-34? He was, and he had insane numbers, so congrats to him. They do have Gavin Spooner as well, perhaps the brother of Natalie Spooner. Who knows? Their power play looks absolutely insane. This is a team that you don't want to mess with. They're the defending Stanley Cup champs for a reason here. And now going over to Pittsburgh, we are preying on Pittsburgh's downfall. We have their first round pick this year, so please, let's make this a bad season for them, and they don't look like world beaters, I'll say that. Marco Tarvinen, Cole Perfetti, Igor Chinakov. Perfetti and Tarvinen, I should say, really going to have to carry the weight here. Their second line doesn't look amazing. Tommy Pispinen, 4-star shooter. Joe Veleno here as an 83 overall two-way forward. And then Edward Saleh, playmaker. Okay, it looks okay, but it's not great at all. Third line, Glenn Brody, Niederberger, and Engeldis. Kind of a weak third line, and the fourth line looks very weak. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Olin Zellweger's a decent player, but I wouldn't necessarily say that he's a first liner. Caden Tangradi is not at all a first liner. Kalen Addison, probably not a second liner. Taro Karlathy has been dropped to their second line on defense here. He was playing first line time before, so that sucks for him, but he should still be getting like roughly 20 minutes a night or so, which is still pretty good. And then Yerky Levo and Justice Rekis. Unfortunately, they have a absolutely amazing goalie. This guy always contends for the Vezina Trophy. Gabriel Dagla here, 88 overall. So they could have a bad season. They could also be like a wild card team, make the playoffs, something like that. I don't necessarily think they're going to be like the worst team in the league like they were last year, but their defense is pretty suboptimal. So is their fourth line. But if their coach only rolls 3 lines, their fourth line shouldn't harm them too much. Peckham's a big boy as a centerman, which is good. So I don't know, give or take here. I'm going to say they barely miss the playoffs. Maybe they get a wild card spot. That's my prediction. And then last but not least here, a huge trade that we made, and their right, oh my god, their right side looks absolutely insane. So they have Jake Neighbors, Seth Jarvis, Samu Pessinen. Tampa Bay is looking crazy out here. Second line of Jan Jenik, Fraser Minton, and Sam Kennedy. He's going to play second line time. Maybe that helps him out actually, because he doesn't have to hold so much weight. Samu Pessinen is going to be getting all that weight, but they have 2 amazing snipers, 90 plus overall snipers. Unfortunately, they do have Junior Callahan here, who was drafted 4th overall 2 years ago on their 4th line. Just throw him up here. He's better than Greenstreet, or even just put him here on the 3rd line instead of Philippe Daoust. It makes no sense why you have him on his own on the 4th line. What is he? He's a playmaker? Yeah, he's a playmaker. Oh my gosh, just put him up here with Yen instead of Jan Jenik. Then you have Callahan, who's the same overall as Jan Jenik, Fraser Minton, and Sam Kennedy. See, the computer puts way too much stock into positions and not enough stock into, you know, where a player will do best or where they should be in the lineup or things like that. So that's unfortunate. On defense now, Bushinger and Axel Sandin Palika, who was had an incredible year, 62 points in 78 games. He was fighting for the Norris Trophy at one point, so let's not sleep on them. But other than that, their defense doesn't look amazing. 36-year-old Mikhail Sergachev is out here. And then who's their goalie? Do they have a good goalie? Mikhail Punanov, okay, 6'4", big boy, medium elite player, drafted in the 2nd round. Good stuff for you, Tampa Bay. And that is all, boys. Now it is time that we actually start the meat and potatoes of the video. We had a bad preseason, mostly because our first line wasn't clicking, but they're just finding their chemistry. So let's see how we can do up against Vegas. We started on the road here. We have a new goaltender. We have a couple of new players. Let me just make sure that we're going to start the season off with Yaroslav Askarov between the pipes, and he is. Torsten Gunderson will see his first full season. Patrick will play on the first line for the first time in quite a while. Brennan Meach is starting his career on the second line. Dane Matheson is starting his career on the third line. Nico Tukio is starting his career on the third line, and they couldn't have a better center than Shane Pinto to guide them through the process. Dane Brookbank on the fourth line. We've got a bunch of young blood here. Boris Nikulin on the back end. Let's go Winnipeg. Game number 1 up against the Vegas Golden Knights. Let's take them to town. Let's do it here, boys. First period. Oh my God, it feels so good to be back. Disappointing playoffs, but we train hard over the offseason and we bury these kids. Owen Power scores 2 goals. Elliot Patrick and Matt Svensson, they are clicking together on the first line. They get a goal each. Second period now, 5-2. Sure, just run up the score. Elliot Patrick gets a power play goal. That's something I'm going to be keeping my eyes on, is the special teams. I've taken Alex suggestions that were in the comments down there, so if you wanted to see a little more, second line's getting in on the action, maybe Brennan Meach's first point, but if you want to read a bit more of his comments, obviously he puts absolute novels in there, so if you want to read a little more, I can't get to all of it in the episode, or I'd be sitting here for like 20 minutes just talking about it, which I would love to do, but might not be the best thing for the video, but either way, that's a 6-3 win in our debut. Oh my goodness, you love to see it. 3 stars of the night. Elliot Patrick with 3 points. Eric Dowd with 3 points. Matt Svensson with 3 points. I am loving these 3 players. And I almost forgot that Nikolai Ehlers retired last year, huh? So I gotta find a day where we can retire his jersey. Let's see, maybe something. Who did he play for after he played for us? I don't even remember. Was it Florida? I don't know why I'm thinking. Oh no, it was Carolina, because he played. We sent him to where Kyle Connor was to play in Carolina, but we already did a jersey retirement against them, so we'll see somewhere. Maybe Philadelphia or something like that. Maybe Detroit. Yeah, we can do Detroit when we go see Rocky Bomick, huh? Because Rocky Bomick's in Detroit, so that'll be interesting. We'll look at that game, especially because that'll be Nikolai Ehlers' jersey retirements. But either way, let's get through a little bit of simulation here. Let's go to maybe the Arizona game. Sure, why not? Let's just see if we can get some wins under our belt. 6-5 shootout loss. See, this is what I'm worried about. I'm not sure how well this team is going to simulate. We have quite a few low overalls. Okay, hang on. Prove me wrong, team. Prove me wrong, boys. Okay, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong right now. Let's get to the Nashville game. That's a 5-4 loss to Arizona, 5-4 win. Okay, 3-2 win, and we are 5-1-1 to start the season off. We are currently the second best team in the NHL. And who was first? Of course, was the New Jersey Devils. We sent Rocky Bomick to New Jersey, not Carol, or not who was I thinking we sent him to? Oh, I don't even remember. But we sent him to New Jersey. Now that I'm remembering it, because he's over there with Jack Eichels. Do we play New Jersey at all? We do play New Jersey on January 8th, but now that I'm thinking about it once again, I think we're going to retire him January 1st against Chicago, because we don't want Rocky Bomick's return to be overshadowed by Nikolai Ehlers' jersey retirement. Both guys deserve their own day, so January 1st, set your calendars. That's going to be Nikolai Ehlers' jersey retirement here. And let's go see the Pittsburgh Penguins. Why not? We want them to have a horrible season. Unfortunately, they are 4-2 to start it off, which is not ideal for us. But let's go see the Pittsburgh Penguins. Then I can go to the Scouts, and we can get back on track here. 6-3 win, good. 6-2-1 so far. Lost to Columbus, 6-3-1. And in our last 4 games, we are, we're 2-2 in our last 4. Let's try to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins and make that 5-2 here. Or sorry, 3-2. What am I saying? I'm on something. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. We are at Canada Life Center. We are welcoming back Cole Perfetti, our former captain. Feels good to have him back in the building. A little bittersweet, of course. And the Targaryen, Tero Karlathy. Let's hope that he doesn't bury our heads into the ground. Let's play a clean game here, boys. First period. Oh my goodness. We might be slow sim kings, boys. 3-0 for us. And Nico Tukio scores on the power play, as does Dane Matheson, even strength, and Henry Quenville, the young kids getting it done. Second period now. Oh my God. Hopefully this game absolutely buries Pittsburgh's morale, their juju. They are a positive team. They're like 6-2-0 or something like that. And hopefully this game just spirals them into the ground, because we are dominating them 9-0. Brookbank has 2 goals. Hoffman has a goal. Pinto with 2. Eklund with 1. Just to carry it on, boys. And of course, as soon as I say that, Tarvinen's going to score. But it's 9-1. I mean, if we lose this one, I'm I'm going to punt every single one of these guys across the street. There's Colby Stoll getting in on the action, and we've hit double digits for the first time in this franchise mode. Dane Matheson piles it back on board once again. Why not? We love Dane out here, the new kid on the block, rookie drafted 4th overall by yours truly. Could have went to Pittsburgh, but he did not because we snagged him away when we traded Sam Kennedy for him. 11-1 victory for your Winnipeg Jets. And Torsten Gunderson has a great game as well. Don't misconstrue that. You know, we might have scored 11 goals, but we only allowed 1, and Torsten made 28 saves or something crazy like that. So Brookbank with 2 goals, Quenneville with 3 points, Matheson with 2 goals. The young kids are getting it done. All right, guys, so let's take a little break here. 11 games in. Let's see who's doing what for us. Let's check the first line. 13 points for Elliot Patrick, +5. Beautiful. This first line, they should be dominating. William Eklund, only 6 points for William Eklund? What the heck? Are these guys not giving him the puck? They're jealous of him or something? These guys, they're just passing it between themselves, keeping it away from William Eklund? This is nonsense. But Mads Svensson is having a resurgence, which is beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted to see from the kid. 13 points in 11 games. Nice stuff. Second line now. Okay, 10 points for Howard Quenneville. I will take that. 7 points for Brendan Meach in his rookie season is beautiful, playing 17 minutes a night, shouldering a big load as well. But a +2. Well, what's his face-off percentage look like? I'm not too worried about it. 42% is fine. You know, he's not really a natural face-off man, but 75 face-offs is okay. But really, 7 points in 11 games is beautiful. And then Eric Dowd's leading the team with 15 points in 11 games. Second line is doing great work. Third line, I'm a little bit worried about this. Why? Why would I be? 7 points for Nico Tukio. 6 points, of course, for Shane Pinto. And then, oh my God, 9 goals, 11 points for Dane Matheson. Is he doing it on the power play? I did give him some power play time. He only has 1 power play point, so he's not really doing it on the power play. But 11 points in 11 games as a rookie, I'm tempted to throw him up to the second line. I mean, I'm not going to change anything. It's not broke, so don't fix it. But Shane Pinto, the leadership, the veteran nature, he can teach these guys, you know, travel schedules, the best snacks to bring on the road, you know, what it's like to play in the NHL night in, night out. And he's on a line with 2 young players, and he is mentoring them like only he can. Third line now, Dane Brookbank, +5. Beautiful. 5 points, +5. And he's doing it offensively as well. 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. He's on pace for like almost 40 points as a 4th liner. That's amazing stuff. Wyatt Johnston, he's doing his thing. 5 assists, +5. And then Colby Stoll, he's chipping in with some, like a couple of points here and there. Defensively, what do we look like? Aiden Stempniak, 13 points, +12, 13 penalty minutes. Yeah, he just loves the number 13. Corbin Mills having a bit of a resurgence, perhaps. 8 points, +11. Nice stuff. Owen Power with 8 points. Wow, we usually don't see Owen Power getting that many points, but that's great. Will Hoffman with 7 is nice. Stefan Kreitzer's a +9. This guy is so reliable. And his partner, +9 as well. So these two, man. Stefan Kreitzer is a beast on the third line. What do our goalies look like? Yaroslav Askarov, 9-14 save percentage, 2.52 goals against average. This team, we are just a wagon. Torsten Gunderson has played. Why has he played so many games? We gotta not have him playing that many games. Why has he played basically the same amount of games as Yaroslav Askarov? It seems a little weird. Maybe we just have a lot of back-to-backs. Maybe that's why. How many back-to-backs have we had so far? Seems a bit strange, but you know, that's okay. We do have, this was a back-to-back, so that's at least 1 game there. This was a back-to-back, that's 2. This was a back-to-back, 3. Okay, so we do have a lot of back-to-backs. So let's, the schedule, man, there's another back-to-back in here. So we have 2 back-to-backs, 3 back-to-backs this month. The schedule makers, they're trying to get at us, man, because we've made the playoffs so many years in a row. They're trying to stop that, but that's a win, then a loss, then another win, and nice. Okay, so 3 out of 2 there. Let's keep a 3 out of 2 record would be nice. Oh, let's go see the Tampa Bay Lightning, dude. We got to go see Sam Kennedy in Tampa Bay. They seem like a pretty good team, actually, which is a little scary. But that's 3 wins in a row now, and the Winnipeg Jets are rolling. We are the 3rd or so best team in the NHL. How are the Penguins doing? Penguins, they're 3rd in their division. Dang, but their division is tight. It's 3 teams tied at 17, so they could still miss out. All right, so here we are up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They are 9-7-1, not having an amazing season. Maybe they could squeak into the playoffs if they get lucky. But we shall see. Sam Kennedy back in the building. Oh, no, we are in Tampa, aren't we? I think we're in Tampa. I don't remember. But if he's back in the building, there's an emotional tribute. If he's not, then those Florida fans are just Tampa Bay fans, but they're in Florida. Those Florida fans are just trying to rip us to pieces. Here we go. First period, 2-1 in favor of Tampa. Greentree scores, then Nico Tukio on that power play. And then, of course, Samuel Pessinen gets one past Yaroslav Askarov. Second period, let's dig deep here, boys. Second period. I love this team. We are so good offensively. It's insane. Svensson, Power, Quenneville, Pinto all scoring. Pinto scores with 11 seconds left just because he doesn't like Trotter in the nets. We love to see it. We're up by 2 going into the third period. This is classic choke job territory, but that was the old Winnipeg Jets. Now we are the Jets that just pound the opposition into submission. That sounds horrible, but you guys know what I mean. Brennan Meach scores a goal. We don't stop. We don't relent. When we're only up by 2, we go out, we get a third, we get a fourth, we increase the lead. We don't sit back and relax being all scared. No. We shut them down and we blow pucks past their goalie to give us a 7-3 win against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we are 3-0 when I go into the simulation and watch games. Eklund had 4 points. Corbin Mills had 4 points. Pessinen with 2 goals. Yeah, you tried, but you failed. Winnipeg is victorious. No! Yaroslav Askarov has been injured with an injured arm. His estimated return is November 26th. The team's lines must be edited. At least he's not out for too long. We don't really have a backup goalie. I guess we kind of do. We have Thomas Milic can come in. I suppose he is up here in the NHL, so we can just chuck him in there. Milic will get his first bit of action. He's been on. Okay, well I can't just like look at these guys for some reason. But Milic has been in the organization since I took over as GM. We've just kept him in the AHL. He's biding his time down there. And he's going to get the chance to play. So shall we watch Thomas, or no, will this be Torsten or Milic playing? Who do we want to see? Do we want to see Torsten play Melvin Barker and the crew? Of course, the Buffalo Jets, as we know and love them. Or should we see Thomas Milic? I mean, either way, we're going to play them in a week anyways, so it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Milic gets the start. Yeah, let's give Milic the start. Gunderson doesn't have the best stats. We'll give Milic... Is this his debut? Hang on, is this his NHL debut? He's been in the organization for so long, I don't even know. This is Thomas Milic's debut in the NHL. He has not played a single game. He's only played with Manitoba, and man, that all changes tonight. So Thomas, good luck, my friend. He's number 2. Torsten's number 5. Very strange numbers for goalies, but here we go. Thomas Milic getting his debut against Melvin Barker and the Buffalo Sabres. Of course, they have Liam Carlson. They have Gil Krabb, Brody DeMarchi, all these guys. The Winnipeg Jets against the Buffalo Jets. Who will be victorious? We are in Buffalo, so I'm sure they're not going to be too happy with me saying stuff like that. But here we are, first period, and Thomas Milic in his first game has made 7 saves so far as Colby Stoll scores on the, I guess the veteran now, Devin Levi. Second period here, that's 3-0. Brennan Meach scores and Shane Pinto, and we go into the third period. We go into Thomas Milic's first ever game, and the score is 3-0. I know you guys can do the rest. Nobody say it. Don't even think it, okay? I know I'm thinking it right now, but don't let the hockey gods know what you're up to. The boys are blocking everything in front of Milic. We are not letting any shots get through. We have a power play opportunity now, and we don't even care. We're dumping that puck 200 feet. No, you jerk. Bodang scores on Thomas Milic and takes away the shutout. I would have jumped in there if Milic was about to get a shutout in his first ever game, but that is a historic debut in the NHL. 33 saves on 34 shots for Thomas Milic. Get this guy a trophy, man. He's the first star of the night as well in his NHL debut. Beautiful, beautiful stuff to see. All right, so if it were up to me, I would just keep Milic in the net for, basically until Yaroslav Askarov comes back here on the 28th. But, the computer might change goalies. They might decide not to. Askarov is fully healed now. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to put Askarov in, and we're going to take Milic, we're going to keep Milic in. Gunderson's going to come out for Askarov just for a little bit. Don't worry, I'll make the switch right back. Let's see if we can start Thomas Milic in this Philadelphia game here, just because he had an amazing first one. I don't know if he's going to start. There's a 3-0 win. Oh, hang on a second. Did Thomas Milic just get a shutout in his second game? Hang on, I got to check this. No, Milic has only played the one game, but a 970 save percentage is looking quite nice. Askarov has 2 shutouts, and he's a 922 save percentage. This is the best goalie we've had since Connor Hellebuck, it feels like, in the regular simulation anyways. Of course, we can't disrespect Jesper Wallstedt by any means, but I will say Askarov is getting it done in the regular season at the very least. So let's go a couple of more games here, up to maybe the Detroit game, the Philadelphia game. Do we know anybody in Philly? No, Josh Morrissey's not there anymore. We obviously already saw Buffalo in this one, so let's go and see. I don't know, man. Let's just simulate a couple of weeks at a time, I would say. Buffalo, that's a win. We are on a huge winning streak also, by the way, boys. I didn't even realize, but we haven't lost in forever, it feels like. That is, how many in a row is that? Where's the last time we lost? The Seattle game? So we went, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight wins now in our belt. Let's make it 20. Let's make it 30. I don't know. Just run the score up. Let's go another week here. I'm not changing anything. 7-3 win. That's 11 straight wins. San Jose, that's 12 straight wins. Anaheim, that is 13 straight wins. Go another week. Wait, I just got to make sure we don't skip past any important days. Oh, yeah, let's go see the Stanley Cup champs, the defending Stanley Cup champs. 13-win streak. Oh, of course, then we lose 2 in a row. Okay, we're losing games here. Quenneville has been injured. Okay, everything's going to hell now. As soon as I get cocky, of course, we lose 3 straight. We get injuries in our top players, and we got to take a little break here. Who's doing what? These top line, they're killing it. They're doing their thing. Second line, how you guys doing? Plus 15. Oh, my God. Meach slowed down a little bit, but that's to be expected. What about the third line? 21 points for Nico Tukio. Great. 14 for you. Dane Matheson has 16 goals in 30 games. He's going to get 40 goals as a rookie. And he's going up to the second line. You know what? He's going up to the second line. I don't care. Colby Stoll, how are you guys doing? Fourth line, still great plus players. Beautiful. Who's going to come in to join the party? I guess it's going to be Martin Kaut, huh? I guess Martin Kaut will come in. Although if I do that, then I'm going to have to make changes to the power play and stuff. But whatever. I'll make some power play changes. All right, another change I'm going to make. Gunderson's going to come back in. Just a little break on the bench, a little bench, but he's still practicing with the boys. He's still traveling. He's just, we just had to give him a little kick in the pants, right? So let's, I'll take a breather here. Excuse me. And, okay, that was a 6-4 win against Montreal. So we lost 3 in a row. Then we beat Montreal. So we're okay. How is Pittsburgh doing? Just a quick checkup on them. Oh, my God, they are leading their division. Okay, of course. Of course, right? The year when they have to do bad because we have their first, they're amazing, even though they're still a very suboptimal team. But that's the nature of the EA simulation, I suppose. Tampa, that's going to be a 3-2 win. St. Louis, that's a 4-3 loss. Howard Quenneville is now fully back. Let me do the lines again. And Dane Matheson, in those games, I think he played 2 games on the second line. He got a goal. He might have gotten an assist as well. I'm not entirely sure, but nope, we're not going to change anything. Matheson's still playing third line time. Martin Kaut's getting out of here. The lines are going to look the exact same. We were going insane with those lines, so I'm not making any crazy changes. All right, so 4-3 loss to the St. Louis Blues, but now we play the Sens, the defending Stanley Cup champions. They have 44 points. We have 49. We are the best team in the NHL by 5 points, 23-6-3. I mean, we did lose 3 in a row here, but we did get points in 2 of them, right? So even when we're losing, we're figuring out how to extend these series a little bit further, and we almost have Nikolai Ehlers' jersey retirement coming up against Chicago because we have had so many battles, and Nikolai Ehlers has had many, many battles against Chicago, so that's going to be a fun one. But first, we're playing the defending Stanley Cup champions in our own building. Let's take these guys to town. Let's show them that we were the real best team last year. We just had a bit of a falter. We tripped at the, we tripped at the finish line, but we're not to be put down for good. Let's go. Up against Ottawa, first period, 3-2 in our favor. William Eklund Johnston scores twice. Amazing things to see. Justin Barron gets a goal, and then the Padawan also scores on Yaroslav Askarov. Second period now. What is going on? That's 2 games, like, back-to-back real-time simulation that we've had 9 goals. What is going on at the end of the second period? We've had 9 goals at the end of the second period twice in what feels like 5 minutes. This is crazy, man. Will Hoffman, Eric Dowd, Dane Brookbank, Nico Tukio, Owen Power, and Stefan Kreitzer all getting in on the fun, and we are demolishing the defending Stanley Cup champions 10-2 in a series where we haven't had 10 goals in one game for 10 years. But in this season, we've already had 2 games where we've had 10+ goals. What the heck's going on here? We are legends, man. I don't understand this, but that's going to be an absolute demolishing of Ottawa in execution. We took them out to the town center, the town square, and we dragged them around and humiliated them on our home ice, man. Everybody was laughing at them. The fans, they all stayed till the end getting drunk up there in Manitoba. I mean, it's December as well, so there's 40 inches of snow on the ground. We were just, oh my gosh, nobody wanted to get home for work the next day. Actually, it's not even the next day. It's a Saturday, so they were going crazy, man. You know it was wild in there. But now we're gonna move up to the game against Chicago. We beat Colorado 3-2. We're just taking everybody to town. Everybody who's really has a threat against us. Yeah, we don't even care. We're not even looking back at them. I mean, the Blackhawks, they're in a divisional playoff spot and they're 10 points behind us. But, you know, it's always great to joke and make fun and things like that. But this is a serious day. January 1st, Nikolai Ehlers, number 27, is going up in the rafters. We are playing the 18-10-7 Chicago Blackhawks. History with the Blackhawks, of course, we've seen them in the playoffs many times. Usually they destroy us in like 6 games, or they come back from being down 3-1. We have them dead to rights, and then of course somehow Connor Bedard scoring 4 goals a game and we lose, of course. But this is not one of those occasions. This is a day to celebrate Nikolai Ehlers, all his achievements he did with the franchise, winning us some cups, also just being an absolute stud on the second line. He was real consistent there, always having like 60, 70, 80 points with us in his career, in his prime especially. So we love Nikolai Ehlers. We wish you all the best in retirement. And now we're going to slap up the Chicago Blackhawks for you. First period, 2-1 for us. Will Hoffman and Matt Svensson, they've played Chicago before, and they know exactly how to beat them into submission. Curtis Douglas scores on Askarov. That's okay. Shake it off, my friend. Second period now, going to remain 2-2. We don't score 9 goals in the second period. What are we doing here? Oh my gosh. We're absolute failures, man. We can't score 10 goals for Nikolai Ehlers. Are you joking me? I mean, we do it on random nights all the time. Will Hoffman gets his second of the night. Get a hat trick for you, me, why don't you, huh? I wonder how many of these guys have played with Ehlers. I'm sure Matt Svensson played with Ehlers. Sam Kennedy, maybe? But we don't have Sam Kennedy on the team anymore. What am I saying? There's his hat trick. Oh my gosh, you love it. Will Hoffman with a hat trick, and that's going to be a 4-2 victory against the Chicago Blackhawks. Your Winnipeg Jets are victorious. The 3 stars of the night are Hoffman, of course, with his hat trick. Yaroslav Askarov gets 30 saves, and William Eklund with 2 assists on Nikolai Ehlers' day. That is an amazing stat line to see. So I absolutely love it there, boys, as we progress a little bit further now. All right, next up is going to be the game here against the New Jersey Devils, who are not a great team. Unfortunately, that doesn't really matter for us this year. The team that does matter is Pittsburgh, and it looks like they are going to be making the playoffs somehow. I don't know how, but hey, whatever. So we're going to go see the New Jersey Devils, hopefully get a couple of wins in the process, and we do beat Boston and we beat Florida. So what is that? That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game winning streak so far. Let's make it 6 up here against the Devils. The Devils are in a playoff spot despite being below 500. So that's why. That's how Pittsburgh's in the playoffs. So the Metro is just horrible. I didn't realize the Metro was full of IP level 4-year-olds on the team. I didn't know that. My bad, boys. But here we go, up against Rocky Bomick and the crew, Jack Hughes and all these other guys that we saw over here. Rocky, hopefully, it's his return to Winnipeg as well. Hopefully you don't score a hat trick against me, although I wouldn't be that angry about it. First period, 1-0, and it's Payer getting a goal on Yaroslav Askarov. That's okay, boys. Second period, that's our jam. So here it comes, second period. Oh my goodness, and they're shutting us down. Rocky Bomick's out there blocking shots. He's hitting people. He's going crazy. And but that's not going to stop Stefan Kreitzer from scoring on Joseph Woll. And now a power play opportunity that leads nowhere, unfortunately. But we are almost doubling their shots halfway through this third period here. And there's going to be Howard Quenneville getting another goal for us. Beautiful, beautiful opportunity there for us. And can we hang on? Can we? No, we cannot. Rasmus Dahlin scores on Yaroslav Askarov. But there's Meech. There's Meech. Oh my gosh, I hit my controller accidentally. Meech is going to get us the game-winning goal with 1 minute and 16 seconds left. That's going to be a 3-2 victory for us here. Amazing game from us. What did Rocky Bomick do for them? He had an assist. Wow, so in his return, he played 20 minutes as well, so he is getting good ice time. I do want to check on Rocky here at the when we reach the halfway point, which is pretty dang soon. Only 3 more games to go, so the last game will be up against the Vegas Golden Knights. That is how we started the season as well, playing them, so let's see if we can finish on a high note. There's another win followed by a loss, 6-3 loss, but we did have like a 7-game winning streak before that loss, so we are quite a streaky team. We have 63 points, 37-3. What are we on pace for? We're 40 or we're 30-10. So that's 40. We're on pace for 60. We are on pace for 60 wins. Oh my gosh. If we get this win, we are on pace for 60. That is crazy. Come on, boys. Up against the Vegas Golden Knights. They are 23-17-3. They're a pretty good team, but I know that we can take them out. The last game of the video here, first period, 1-0 for us. It's Elliot Patrick scoring on Lindbaum, and I believe we are undefeated in the slow sim, so that's beautiful. We are also tripling Vegas' shots going into the second period. That's going to be 2-1 for us. William Eklund scores, and the first line is really getting it done in this one. Third period underway now. What can we do? Can we hang on, or will Vegas' offensive attack try to take over here? 2 power play opportunities for us. We missed out on both of them. I wonder how our power play is doing. Something that I will be checking out, obviously, at the halfway point, as well as all the trade blocks and the stat lines of individual players. And that's going to be a 3-1 victory. And I think we went undefeated in the slow sim throughout this entire first half of the season, which is a beautiful sight. Yaroslav Askarov definitely is simulating amazingly. I'm not sure if he's better or worse, the same as Connor Hellebuyck, but the point is he's simulating like an absolute god. We are on pace for 62 wins, 14 losses, and 6 overtime losses. That would be a franchise record. Let's take a look at the team stats before we go anywhere. We are the best team in the league, I believe. Yes, we are, but only just, to be fair. Anaheim's also on pace for 60, so imagine if 2 teams got 60 wins in the same season. That would be absurd. But we are the best team in the NHL. Ottawa is 5th best, the defending Stanley Cup champions. Do we see any other teams that we know? Pittsburgh is 11th. Wow, so they're really turning it around. Good for them. Unfortunately, bad for us. But what are you going to do? Tampa as well. Oh my gosh, so they finished at the bottom of the league last year, and now they're 18th best. Okay, they're not world beaters, but they're progressing nicely. Sam Kennedy probably doing decent things over there. And then at the bottom of the barrel here, we do have Carolina, Calgary, who I almost traded Bomek to, but I'm kind of happy I didn't. Where is Devils? The Devils are pretty bad, actually. 18-21-2. But are they in a playoff spot? They were in a playoff spot before. No, they're not anymore. Okay, fair enough. So that's interesting. So now let's take a look at goals for per game. We are scoring 4.32 goals for per game. We're scoring 4 goals a game. Oh my God, we are absolute demons out there. Probably helped a little bit by our 2 10. We had a 10-goal win, and then we had an 11-goal win, so probably helped it a little bit by that. But still, 4.32 is absurd, and 2.66 goals against average. The tied, I guess, the 3rd best defensive team in the NHL. Look at this. 1, 2, and 3 are all the best defensive teams in the NHL. So people say it's all about offense now in the NHL. The simulation here in EA would very much disagree with you. The 3 best teams in the NHL are all in the top 3 for goals against average. 2.66 is pretty miraculous for an EA simulation. I will gladly take that. 24% power play as well, so the power play is coming back. That is, what is that, like 5th best or so? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5th best. So that's great. And then penalty kill, 80% penalty kill. I'll take it. It's much better than the 73% that it was last year. So we have decent special teams, although we'd like to get the penalty kill up a little bit. We have a good power play. We have an incredible record, obviously. What are we in the last 10? We are 8-2-0 in our last 10. We are 17-1-1 at home. We are the best home team of all time. We're a great away team as well. Oh my God, we don't lose at home. What the heck? Who has beat us at home? I kind of want to check that out low key. Hang on, give me 1 second. So our 2 losses at home, one of them comes to the Arizona Coyotes here in regulation. It's a 5-4 loss, unfortunate. We didn't get the goaltending that we needed. And the other one is here against the New York Islanders, a 5-4 loss once again. So 2 5-4 losses are the only times we've lost at home. I've never seen something like that. I've never seen anything like that. That's insane. Okay, let's take a look at the player stats, our player stats, the league stats, and then we will take a closer look at some of our friends that are in new places. We always like to do that. So William Eklund carrying us. He's on a 100-point pace that would be the first time in his career, I'm pretty sure. Let me just do a quick look. Yeah, first time in his career that he would score 100. He's on that pace. Eric Dowd. This guy's an 85 overall, and he has 49 points. That just goes to show you, it's not all about the overall. It's not all about who has the best, offensive awareness. It's not that stuff. It's just the stats, bro. He's just a pure stat. He's just a pure simulator. 99 passing, 92 offensive awareness, and he is carrying his line, 49 points. He even has 16 goals and he only has 3.5-star shooting, so that's amazing. Elliot Patrick with 17 goals, shooting 10%. He's shooting a little bit worse than what he usually does. He does have 5 power play goals, which is nice. He's obviously the finisher on that first line. 5-star shooting. Yeah, he's a good player. 46 points in 41 games is beautiful. Matt Svensson is coming back from the dead. 46 points in 41 games. Hopefully that will be good enough to grow his overall. Howard Quenneville, wow, 37 and 39 for Howard Quenneville in his sophomore season. Yeah, his sophomore season, 37 in 39, when last year he only had 47 in the entire year, so probably Eric Dowd helping him out, but still beautiful season so far from Howard Quenneville. He's on pace for 74. Will Hoffman is our first defenseman here, on pace for 68 points on the second line. Amazing season so far from him. Aiden Stempniak on pace for 64. Great. Nico Tukio on the third line has 31 points in 41 games. Maybe this is another Matt Svensson. He has 8 power play points. He has 5 power play goals, which is kind of crazy because he only has 2.5-star shooting, but he has great stats. 31 points in 41 games is amazing. Corbin Mills, now he's a plus 30, 29 points, good. Dane Matheson with 20 goals and 28 points. He has slowed down a little bit on the third line, but I'm not going to complain about him. Obviously, as a rookie, he's now a 79 overall. He's still a plus 13, and probably playing with Nico Tukio, he has 24 assists, right, Nico? So probably getting a couple off of Dane Matheson, which is nice. Brendan Meach on the second line, he's definitely slowed down quite a bit, but a 46-point rookie season would not be bad at all. If we're at the deadline, I think we might be looking for a second line center. Shane Pinto on pace for 40 points. Classic. That's an absolute classic. 40-point Shane Pinto. Owen Power on pace for 34. That would be a good season from him. Wyatt Johnston on pace for 30. Nice. Colby Stoll for 26. Dane Brookbank on pace for 20, but he is a plus 5. What else does he bring to the table, Dane Brookbank? He is shooting 25%. Wow, so he only has 24 shots. He has 6 goals somehow. Playing about 8 minutes a night here. He is good on the faceoff dot when he jumps in there every once in a while. He takes it way more than he gives it away. He has a couple of hits. Okay, that's fair. I'm not really doing too much, but I can't get mad at the kid either. Stefan Kreitzer now with 7 points, plus 20, and Boris Nikulin 5 points, plus 15. These two, just two huge bodies, just blowing people up, knocking people down. They are the Bash brothers on the third line. Yaroslav Askarov is having incredible numbers. Not the 920 he had before, but 911, 2.65 goals against average. Torsten Gunderson, 907, 2.76 goals against average. Good numbers from both of these guys. And then Thomas Milic can jump in there for a game and have a 970 save percentage. That would be beautiful. Let's take a look around the entire league now and see who's doing what. And around the league, it looks like Alex Ranford, so he won a Conn Smythe, I believe, what would that be, like 6 years ago or 7 years ago now? So he's an incredible player. 22 and 34 for 56 points is great. Clayton Keller still stuck in Arizona, but he has 55 points in 44 games. Don't tell me that the person below Clayton Keller is Melvin Barker. I will be, okay, on the one end, I'll be pretty happy because that's an amazing season. But on the other, I'll be like, why couldn't you do this with us, huh? We gave you opportunity. We had you on the first line for a year and a half, maybe a bit more than that. Melvin, I swear to God, so help me. He has 29 goals in 42 games. This man's a monster. You love to see it. 5-star shooter. What can you say? I mean, he's having an amazing year. He's in the top 3 for point production. That's great. Good for him. Connor Bedard is up here. Logan Cooley is up here. Mitch Marner. Tim Stützle. Pretty much all the usual suspects. Cole Caulfield, Yaroslav Slavkovsky, Mason McTavish. Fair enough here. William Eklund is then up here at 50. He's also a plus 27. So good for all of these guys. Defensively, who's winning that North? Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes. They are still fighting for it at 35 and 36 years old, respectively. You love to see the old guys still have some tricks up their sleeve. Aaron Kivi Haru is here now. Will Hoffman is in the mix as well, only 3 points behind. Moritz Seider, Aiden Stempniak's only 5 points behind. I mean, this is still a pretty contended trophy, I would say. There's a lot of people who could win this thing still. Looking at goalies, Sebastian Kosa is leading all goalies, but after him, it's Yaroslav Askarov and then Pavel Zarkov. So definitely Askarov has a chance to win the Vezina. I wouldn't say he has the best chance. Let's go 30 games played, and let's sort by save percentage. Oh my gosh, Mats Lundqvist, he's an 81 overall goalie. He is 13, 13, and 5, but he has 5 shutouts and 916 save percentage. Crazy. He's not going to win the Vezina. Maybe Matteo Hecht from Buffalo might win it. 913, 21, 7, and 2. Great record, great numbers, 2.77. Yeah, he's definitely a contender for that Vezina. If you just look at the wins, maybe Sebastian Cossa, maybe Yaroslav Askarov. He does have good numbers as well, but Hecht is right here. Only 5 less wins than Cossa, but a better save percentage, worse goals against average, but he's playing on Buffalo, probably giving up more chances. It's interesting, to say the least. Let's take a look at the rookie skaters. Do we have a claim to the Calder? We do. Nico Tukio, plus 15, 24 assists, doing his thing. After that, Dane Matheson as well. So we have 2 of the top 3 rookies. We have 3 of the top 4 rookies contending for a Calder trophy. Tukio, Matheson, and Meach. The future looks bright here in Winnipeg. So taking a look at Buffalo, obviously we know Melvin Barker is absolutely murdering the ice. He's killing things out there. 54 points in 42 games. He's on pace for 108. TJ Ginla, therefore, is doing great things, as is Asher Recchi, who we saw was their line mate. So this second line, probably the best second line in the NHL. Ours is obviously very good as well, but you can't compete with Melvin Barker at 54 points. That's absolutely absurd. Liam Karlsson now, only 29 points for Liam Karlsson, so he's having a bit of a down year after his 70 points last season. He's now only on pace for 58. Unfortunate for him, but it makes our trade look a little better, although we did trade away Sam Kennedy, so it's kind of the trade is now, what? I guess it's Dane Matheson for Liam Karlsson, I suppose, now is kind of the trade. Brody DeMarchi is a plus 12. Nice. Gale Crabbe is a plus 1. Not really doing too much as Gale Crabbe. And then Matteo Hecht, obviously, he's competing for a Vezina, drafted by us in the second round. 913 save percentage, 2.77. He's in the contest, at least, for a Vezina. Not sure if he'll get it, but he's doing his thing over here. Looking at Pittsburgh, Cole Perfetti with 41 points in 38 games, above point per game, as he is pretty much every year of his career after he had his breakout 95, even 81 point season. He's pretty much been point per game player for the past like 6-7 years or something like that. And he's carrying this lifeless Pittsburgh Penguins team somehow to great heights. I mean, after Tarvinen and Perfetti, it's like 85 overall, Saleh, and then, I mean, Olin Zellweger is somehow killing it. I don't know, they have a bunch of minuses, but they're somehow in the playoffs. They're in a pretty good place as well. They're like 9th or 10th best in the league, if I remember correctly. So, Tero Karlathy here, he's got 12 points, minus 9. Not ideal for him. He's playing 20 minutes a night, though. That's good to see, but yeah. Pittsburgh, I'm surprised they are a good team. Unfortunate for our position with we have their first round draft pick, so not good to see them doing well, but what are you gonna do? Okay, out here in Tampa, it's the 2 snipers really carrying things for this team. Samu Pestinen with 35 points, Sam Kennedy with 35 points. You know, I was thinking this team was going to be a lot better. On paper, they looked much better than Pittsburgh, but I guess they're not clicking very well. Sam Kennedy is a minus 11. 35 points in 41 games is not bad, though. He's on pace for 70, which is just about what he did last year and the year before that. Yeah, pretty similar. So he's still doing okay. Only 13 goals. He's only shooting 10%, which is pretty average, but you would want to see a sniper of his caliber up in the 12, 15-ish range for a good season, for like maybe like a 40-goal season or something like that. Right now, he's only on pace for 26, which is not bad, but you'd want to see him around 30 more, ideally. But yeah, this team is bad for some reason. They have a great forward core, but they're just not doing very good. Where's Junior? Junior Callahan, 13 points in 41 games. They are stunting this kid's growth like crazy. He's only playing 10 minutes a night. Get him on the second line playing with Sam Kennedy and watch those goals shoot up, Tampa. I'm telling you. Okay, this one brings a smile to my face, I'm not going to lie. Rocky Bomek here got injured a little bit throughout the season, but 28 points in 39 games. That's a great season for him. He's on pace for 56 points. He's playing second line time as well, which is lovely. That's exactly why we traded him here. He's playing great minutes. New Jersey's a team that is, I think they're just outside the playoff picture, unfortunately for them. But Bomek, he's trying his best to help these guys out. He has the same amount of points as Nico Hischier, the same as Rasmus Dahlin pretty much, who's a 90 overall. So Bomek, he's helping these guys. He's a +8. I wonder what his line looks like. I kind of want to check that out. Let me take a quick look. So Bomek is playing second line time with Racine, who he was like he was a 4th round pick a couple of years ago, and Nico Hischier. So that is beautiful. Is he playing power play time as well? Bomek on the second unit at the very least. He is playing second unit with DeBrincat, with Rasmus Dahlin. So they have a pretty good unit here. out in New Jersey, so you love to see that. And now, let's take a quick look at the trade blocks around the league. I think I looked at everybody. I looked at Sam Kennedy, looked at Cole Perfetti, looked at Liam Carlson and the crew, looked at all these other Rocky Bomick and those guys. So I think we're good. Looking around the block, nobody in Anaheim. Arizona, oh my gosh, Pete Lombardi here in Arizona did not sign a contract. So maybe a little disgruntled going into the UFA season next year. So maybe that's something we can look at, although we don't really need him. There's some depth pieces here in Boston. Maybe a guy like a Philip Bystedt, a Dawson Mercer, Jameson Reese perhaps, something like that. Definitely good options. Buffalo with nobody. Calgary, not really anybody there. Carolina, Kirby Dach, Braden Point. Braden Point was a monster last year, but these contracts are a little bit too much for my liking. Chicago, no thanks. Colorado, nobody. Columbus here, no. Definitely not Jordan Dumais. This guy has way too much trade value, so that's a pass. Dallas, no. Detroit, no. Edmonton, Evan Bouchard, no thanks. Not touching that contract. Not touching Philip Broberg. Maybe Jackson Lacombe, but again, our third pairing defense is amazing so far. Matthias Havlid is out here, former Winnipeg Jet, 11 points, minus 17. Tough. Florida, no thanks. LA, nobody's on the block. Minnesota, they've got Cole Sillinger. He could be a depth piece. But again, I'm looking for a guy, a middle six centerman, basically. Somebody maybe 83, 84, 85 overall, who can help out that second unit. Okay, a guy like Noah Dobson would be great if he was a center. He's a right defenseman, though. He's making 11 mil. We don't need that on the roster. All these guys are, they're all defense, man. A bunch of defense on the block, but no centers, man. Again, more defense here. Ottawa with nobody. Philadelphia with nobody. Pittsburgh, nobody. San Jose, just prospects. Seattle, prospects. St. Louis. Oh my gosh, all these teams just trading away prospects. Tampa's a bad team. They should be looking at trading away some centers. Maybe a Jan Jenik can come in. An Emil Bemstrom, I don't know, something like that maybe. Toronto, I don't know if they're bad or a good team, but they don't really have anybody on the block except defense. Vancouver, no. Vegas, no. Washington, Adam Boqvist, Miro Heiskanen. Heights, I mean, they have some options, but there's really nothing that interesting on the block. I might have to look at who are the bad teams and just look at their centers. Would they want to trade these guys away? Guys like Calgary, guys like Boston, teams like the Hurricanes, the Blue Jackets. You know, just look at all these teams and see what they would be willing to trade. But alas, that's going to do it for this one. We are on pace for the best season of all time for the Winnipeg Jets franchise. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, give it a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. But you know what to do. You've been on YouTube for long enough, and I'll see you guys in the next one. New videos come out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.